Welcome back. Through this video, we'll see how to add a Windows 10 computer as a member of this particular domain. We'll move on to the practical demonstration. So here on the previous videos, we saw how to create the users group and OU. And coming to the computers container, you can see there is no computers added to the domain. So to add a computer into the domain, you can go to the client computer. So here I have a Windows 10 computer. So first of all, to add any computer into the domain, you need to configure the network settings. So to configure the network settings, let me open the network connections. So let me configure the IP address. So basically the IP address should be in the same subnet of your domain, or if you have multiple subnets in your organization, so obviously you should have the routing enabled between the subnets, and the IP address of which was configured for our domain controller. I'll just verify that. So the IP address is 192.168.0.131. So let me configure IP address in the same subnet 192.168.0.132, and okay, instead of 132, let me go with 135, and configure the subnet mask, and if there is any default gateway you can configure the same. And coming to the preferred DNS IP, so basically here you need to configure the DNS server IP address of your domain. So already we have configured our DNS server in the domain controller itself. So let me configure the same IP here. It is 131. So here whatever we are configuring, that should be your DNS server of the particular domain. So already we have configured Active Directory service in this same computer, which is also running with the DNS service. So that's why I have given the same IP. And once the IP has been configured, we need to make sure whether the client computer is able to communicate with the domain controller. So let me ping the IP. So we are getting the response. And also we need to make sure whether the domain name is getting resolved or not. So let me ping the domain name comatlab.in, sorry, comatlab.com. So here we can see the domain name is getting resolved to the domain controller's IP. So which means the name is getting resolved. So then now it is ready for changing the computer domain membership. So for which open the system properties. Sorry. So in the system properties, you can change the computer membership. So already it is member of work group. Now let me make it to the member of our domain comatlab.com, and enter the credentials. So once the authentication is successful, so you'll get the welcome message. So once the welcome message is received, you can just press close. It will ask you to restart now. You can restart it. So once the restarting of the client computer is done, so it is the computer has been added as a member of the domain. So we can verify the same in the domain controller. So under users and computers, so we can see the client 01, the computer has been added into Active Directory. So basically this is how you can add any computer as a member of domain. It shall be a Windows 10 computer or Windows 8 computer or a Windows Server 2019 or any Windows operating system, or any Windows computers can be added into the domain. And that's all for this demonstration. We'll continue the remaining topics in the upcoming videos. Until then, bye bye.